Hey, we're back again, and we've been talking about identification. And I want to remind you that we looked at that word with, that preposition with. So we talked about the fact that we've been crucified with Christ. And so then it went on to say that we've been crucified with Christ, and the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God. So I'm by faith receiving his very life into my life, which allows me now to live out of that life rather than out of a sin nature, rather than out of, sickness and all of those things. I'm living out of that life with Christ. And let me just show you now, because I want to read Ephesians chapter 2 verse 6. Listen to this. And raised us up with him. This is talking about us being raised up with Christ, and raised us up with him, and made us to sit with him in the heavenly places. So you and I are now raised up. So first of all, we see ourselves crucified with Christ, living a new life that comes from being with Christ while he was through his death, burial, and resurrection. But not only that, now in Ephesians, what we're seeing is we are raised up with him and seated together with him in heavenly places. Now that doesn't mean we're in heaven physically at the moment. What it means is we have a position of authority that is right there with Christ. In other words, you and I have been given a position in the kingdom of God that has authority, it has strength, it has power, and whether or not we're sitting in heaven or whether we're standing on the earth, we have the authority that comes from being with him in that position. And so I want you to think about that. Identify with Jesus in his death. Identify with Jesus in his burial. Identify with Jesus in the resurrection life that you now have in him, and identify with Jesus in being seated together with him in heavenly places. This is a critical element for us to think about. Very critical element for us to think about and see, so that we understand that he died to make us live, that he was made sin to make us righteous. He became weak to make us strong. He suffered shame so that he could give us glory. He went to hell so that we could go to heaven. And he was made sick in order that healing might come to us. He was cast out from the presence of God in order to make us welcome in the presence of God. So important. That little list comes from actually a little book on identification by E.W. Kenyon. And I love that little list to begin to think about all of those things, that he was cast out of the presence of God. Why? Jesus cried out, "Why, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Well, he was cast out so that you and I could be welcomed right now, today, because of what Jesus did, that sacrificial, that sacrifice that he made, the redemption that he brought to us. You are welcome in the presence of God. Oh man, you're so welcome. And so I want you to live by faith, knowing no matter what your past is like, no matter what's in, when you come to Jesus and you ask for forgiveness, you are made welcome in the presence of God. So be blessed today. I call you blessed, and we'll see you on the next one. Remember, we are identifying with Jesus, beginning with his death, and then in his burial, our old sin nature being buried, and then in our resurrection life, and now being seated together with him in heavenly places, where we, all the things that are available to us. We're going to talk about them more in the future. All right, be blessed, and we'll see you on the next one.